Have you ever pondered over the magic of a sponge? Simple, unassuming, yet with a remarkable power to absorb. Now imagine if we could harness that power, not for water, but for experiences, knowledge, and every nuance of life that often goes unnoticed. This, my friends, is the power of absorption, a cornerstone of personal development. It's about more than just getting through the day. It's about learning from it, growing with it, and transforming because of it. It's about not just being a passive observer, but an active participant in the grand theatre of life. Let me share a personal anecdote. Once I found myself stuck in a rut, the days blurring into one another, each as unremarkable as the last. Then, I decided to change my approach. I started to absorb. I began to notice the way the sun painted the sky every morning, the rhythm of footsteps on a busy street, the silent stories in the eyes of strangers. I listened, not just to words, but to the symphony of sounds that make up our world. I tasted flavors, not just food. I touched textures, not just objects. Observation, a key tool in the arsenal of the absorber. And what exactly is an absorber? Picture a sponge soaking up every droplet of water, not letting a single one escape. Now imagine that water as knowledge, experiences, the atmosphere, the color of the day. That sponge, my friends, is you. Observation, in essence, is the act of noticing and registering something with our senses. It's more than just seeing or hearing. It's about understanding and interpreting what we perceive, giving it meaning, and learning from it. Let's take a stroll down memory lane. I remember a time when I was a young, curious child, watching my grandmother knit. The rhythmic movement of her hands, the soft clicking of the needles, the gradual transformation of a single thread into a beautiful scarf. I didn't just watch, I observed. I absorbed not just the skill, but also the patience, the dedication, and the love woven into each stitch. Observation goes beyond the surface. It's about absorbing the atmosphere, the vibe. It's about feeling the pulse of the day, the rhythm of life. Every day is a different color, a different tone. Some days are bright yellow, filled with energy and vibrancy, while others may be soothing blue, calming and serene. By observing, you don't just get through the day, you get from the day. You let the day teach you, shape you, mold you. Observation is also about awareness. It's about being present, being in the moment. It's about noticing the details, the subtle nuances that often go unnoticed. It's about understanding the unspoken, reading between the lines, sensing the unsaid. It's about perceiving the world in its entirety, with all its complexities and subtleties. Observation, therefore, is not a passive act. It's an active, engaging process. It's a skill that needs to be honed, a muscle that needs to be exercised. And the more you observe, the more you understand, the more you learn, the more you grow. Your observations are the lenses through which you see and absorb the world. Sharpen them, and the world becomes a vibrant canvas of learning. Absorption is not a passive act, it's an active journey. This statement may sound counterintuitive, but let's dive a little deeper. Consider a day in your life. We've all had those days where we simply go through the motions, our minds on autopilot. That, my friends, is a passive approach to life. Now imagine a different kind of day. A day where you're not just ticking off tasks on your to-do list, but you're actively engaging with what's happening around you. You're noticing the small details, the nuances. You're absorbing the atmosphere, the colors, the conversations. This right here is an active journey. I recall a time in my life when I was stuck in the passive mode. Days blurred into weeks, weeks into months, with little to distinguish one from the other. Then I decided to make a change. I made a conscious effort to shift from being a passive observer to becoming an active absorber. Instead of just getting through each day, I chose to get something from each day, to let the day teach me. And let me tell you, this shift was transformative. It enhanced my personal development in ways I could never have anticipated. I began to learn more, not just about the world around me, but about myself as well. Remember, the day is not just for getting through. It's a treasure trove of experiences waiting for you to absorb. Now that you understand the power of absorption, it's time to put it into practice. The art of absorbing is not a destination, but a journey, a continual process that requires commitment, curiosity, and an open mind. Let's begin with small steps. Start your day with an intention to learn, to grow, to absorb. As you step out of your door, look around. Observe the world as if you're seeing it for the first time. The vibrant colors of the sunrise, the chirping of the birds, the morning dew on the leaves. Each of these is a lesson, a story waiting to be absorbed. Now, let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I found myself stuck in a rut, feeling as though each day was just another tick on the calendar. Then I decided to make a change. I started to absorb. I began to see each day as a new opportunity to learn, to grow. I observed the world around me, the people I interacted with, the situations I encountered. One day I found myself in a heated argument with a colleague. Instead of reacting, I chose to absorb. I listened to their perspective, their thoughts, their feelings. I learned from that experience, I grew from that experience. And that's the power of absorption. But remember, absorption is more than just observation. It's about understanding, it's about empathy. It's about taking in the good and the bad, the joy and the pain, the triumphs and the failures. It's about learning from every experience, every interaction, every moment. As you journey through your day, be present. Be open to new experiences, new ideas, new perspectives. Let the world be your teacher. Let the day teach you. And so, as you step into tomorrow, remember to be like a sponge. Absorb every bit of knowledge, every experience, and let the day teach you. Your journey to personal development is just beginning.